You walk through a parking lot at night. Something moves in the shadows. Your heart slams. Your hands go cold. You look before you even decide to look. You are not scared of the dark. You are scared of what used to live in it. For most of human history, you were not the strongest animal in the room. You were not the fastest. You had no claws, no fangs, no fur thick enough to matter. You were soft, slow, and loud. And you were surrounded by animals built entirely to eat things like you. So how did you survive? Not by fighting. Fighting was a losing bet against a lion. You survived because your ancestors built something no predator could outmuscle, a group mind wired for threat. Start with the eyes. Yours sit at the front of your face, side by side, not on the sides of your head. That is a predator's arrangement. But your ancestors were not apex predators for most of their evolutionary story. They were prey that borrowed a predator's toolkit. Depth perception let early humans judge distance in dim light, track movement through brush, and spot the flicker of a body where there shouldn't be one. It is why you can still catch motion in your peripheral vision before you consciously register what moved. Your visual system was never optimized for reading or screens. It was optimized for one job: catching the thing that is trying to catch you. Now think about a sound you have felt in your chest before you understood it. A low growl, a snapped branch, a scream, human or otherwise. Researchers studying acoustic startle responses, including work led by psychologist Michael Davis, have shown that the human brain reacts to a sudden loud noise faster than it can consciously process what the noise was. Your amygdala, the almond-shaped alarm system buried deep in your brain, fires before your prefrontal cortex even finishes asking, "What was that?" This is not a flaw. This is the whole point. An ancestor who paused to rationally evaluate a rustling bush was an ancestor who got eaten. An ancestor who flinched first and asked questions later passed on their genes. You are descended, almost exclusively, from flinchers. But flinching alone does not explain survival. Lions still ran faster. Leopards still climbed better. Crocodiles still waited longer. So what tipped the scale? Numbers, and watching each other's eyes. Anthropologist Sarah Blaffer-Hrdy has argued that human infants, unlike almost every other primate, are born requiring cooperative care from multiple adults, not just a mother. That single fact reshaped everything. It meant early humans could not survive as scattered individuals. They survived in tight, watchful clusters because a group has more eyes than a single body, and more eyes catch more danger sooner. Picture a band of early humans crossing open grassland. One person cannot watch 360 degrees. 20 people can. A predator stalking a lone human has a clean, silent approach. A predator stalking a group has to cross open ground under dozens of scanning eyes, and predators, overwhelmingly, avoid that risk. This is why herd animals cluster the same way. Safety was never really about strength, it was about geometry. And here is the twist most people never think about. Your ancestors did not just watch for predators. They watched each other watching. If someone nearby suddenly froze, or their eyes darted sideways, that was information, transmitted instantly, without a single word. A frozen posture in another human was as loud as a roar. This is why you still flinch when a stranger in a crowd suddenly stops and stares at something behind you. You have not seen the danger yet, but your body has already started reacting to theirs. There is a name for this collective vigilance in modern research: social referencing. Psychologist Joseph Campos demonstrated it directly, showing that infants placed at the edge of what appeared to be a steep drop-off would look to a caregiver's face before deciding whether to crawl forward. If the caregiver looked afraid, the infant stopped. If the caregiver looked calm, the infant proceeded. That instinct did not appear from nowhere. It is a direct descendant of a survival system built for a world full of teeth. Fire changed the equation again. Controlled fire pushed back the hours predators could safely hunt humans. A flame at the mouth of a shelter was not comfort. It was a wall. Large nocturnal predators generally avoid open flame, and early humans who mastered fire effectively extended daylight into the night, buying themselves protected hours to rest, heal, and reproduce. Sleep, for a prey animal, is the most vulnerable state there is. Fire made vulnerability survivable. Notice what none of this required. It did not require size. It did not require speed. It did not require weapons more advanced than a sharpened stick. What it required was cooperation, communication, and a nervous system tuned to treat uncertainty as danger until proven otherwise. This is the part that should unsettle you a little. That nervous system is still yours. It did not get an upgrade when predators stopped being the primary threat. Your amygdala does not know the difference between a leopard in tall grass and a notification that says someone is typing. It does not know the difference between a growl in the dark and a boss walking toward your desk with a serious expression. It fires the same ancient alarm either way, because as far as your biology is concerned, uncertainty has always meant one thing. Something might be about to eat you. That is why an unread message can spike your heart rate. Why a silent room after you speak up in a meeting feels dangerous in a way that has nothing to do with logic. Why you check over your shoulder on an empty street even when you know, rationally, there is nothing there. You're not overreacting. You're running software built for a world with teeth in the grass, operating in a world that mostly just has emails. And that group scanning instinct never disappeared either. It just changed targets. You still watch other people's faces to decide how afraid to be. You still catch a stranger's tense posture and feel your own shoulders tighten before you know why. You still, in some very real sense, survive by watching who else is watching. So the next time your body reacts before your mind catches up, before you've even named what startled you, remember what that reaction actually is. It is not fear malfunctioning. It is the oldest, most successful survival system ever built. Still running, still watching, still keeping something soft and slow alive in a world that once wanted to eat it. You walk through a parking lot at night. Something moves in the shadows. Your heart slams. That is not weakness. That is 10,000 generations of ancestors who flinched first and lived.